Full time, Sutton United 0, Arsenal 2. A really sort of fascinating evening's football, to be honest. An unusual game for Arsenal. I think the smallest crowd they've played in front of in recorded history. A really great FA Cup tie, to be honest with you. Not a good game. I mean, anyone telling you it's a good game is lying. The quality was poor. The Arsenal didn't play great football. Sutton didn't either. But it was entertaining because it was unusual. And I think as Arsenal fans, we're very accustomed to seeing the same thing again and again. So something with a bit of novelty was nice. And we got the win. I guess that's the important thing to say. We did the job. We did what we need to. We were professional. There were no major scares. A few chances for Sutton aside. And I think it looked as if Arsenal needed to step up a gear and really take this game by the scruff of the neck, they could have done. They did just enough. Unfortunately, there was an injury for Mohamed El Neni, but apart from that, it was a good night's work. A strong team picked by Arsene Wenger, showing respect not just to Sutton but to the competition. But I think he had to. After what happened in Munich, Arsenal could not afford any kind of slip up here, and I don't think Wenger could afford to do anything that would leave him open to more criticism. What to say? I mean, Lucas Perez, I think, was our star player in the first half, scored the goal, albeit with a degree of fortune. It was a cross shot, really, that crept into the far corner. His remarkable run of scoring or assisting continues whenever he's called upon. And, lots of stories in the past couple of days about him not being too happy in North London. You can understand his frustration at a lack of opportunities. Then in the second half, I thought Oxlade-Chamberlain, who came on for El Neni, was probably our best player. His decision-making in the final third was quite poor, and his final ball not great, but the power that he had in the middle of the park, that acceleration, Sutton just couldn't really live with that. I think his athleticism set him apart from the other players on the pitch. I think, before we talk about any other Arsenal individuals, Theo Walcott deserves some mention. He scored the second goal, captain on the night, his 100th goal for the club. Nice for him, I guess, to reach that milestone with the armband on. Pretty straightforward one, really, from a deflected Nacho Monreal cross. And that's a pretty impressive tally for someone who, has had so many injury problems in his career. Back on the right-hand side today, I noticed with Lucas Perez through the middle, originally it looked as if it might line up the other way around, but I think Theo through the middle is consigned to the past. Thank God. But yeah, before we talk about any more Arsenal players, I'd love to give credit to a couple of former Arsenal players. Rory Deacon, in particular, for Sutton was excellent. And hopefully this showcase will give him the chance to move back up the leagues, because he was a relatively well thought of guy, in the Arsenal reserves and the youth team, and didn't quite make the cut there. But he slipped through the cracks a bit, and I don't think he should be playing at that kind of level. I think he's clearly got ability to do more than that, as he showed on the night, really. One brilliant cross, struck the bar another time. A great outlet for Sutton. And Craig Eastman, who I remember seeing playing in the senior side at Arsenal, I thought he acquitted himself well as well. Perhaps not as spectacular as Deacon, but, pretty solid nonetheless. Sutton did themselves proud, and Arsenal now face another non-league side in the next round. I mean, the draw's been kind to us. It's funny, I have to say, I do think the Cup's been pretty kind to Arsene Wenger in recent years. I know we've had a few tricky ties. You think of going away to Old Trafford, but we've also had plenty of home ties in that period, or ties that looked winnable. And two non-league sides in succession, that's definitely fortune is smiling on us there. Could the Cup save Arsene Wenger again? I don't know. I don't know if it can save him in terms of his job, but it might save his reputation and save our season to an extent. Anyway, some time off now. I think it's, a week and a half until our next game. So time for the players to recuperate, for the manager to recuperate, and hopefully for some of the wounds from that Munich mauling to heal. Cheers.